How's it going, everybody? Nerds Rising here, and welcome back to the Nerd Cave. In today's video, it is that time once again for the top wins of the month, and let me just tell you folks, November's battles do not disappoint. I had a ton of incredible battle submissions, and we're going to be taking a look at the 10 best here in today's video. So we're going to be getting right into it. A massive thank you to everyone who sent me in footage. There was more than 10 battle submissions. Unfortunately, there are some really awesome battles that are going to get left out, simply just because I don't want this to be like a 45-minute long video. But let's get right into the first battle here. And I believe the first like 3 or 4 are going to be in the Ultra League. And this one was sent into the channel by One Jedi Music, actually past winner of the competition as well. And he's running the XL Pelipper, XL Hisuian Sneasel, and Palmot in the Ultra League. And let's get to the first battle here, as he leads Pelipper into Tentacruel. And this is a pretty neutral matchup. Honestly, Tentacruel is just so bulky in the Ultra League. I'm imagining this probably is a losing matchup for the Pelipper, but we're going to have to see how it plays out. He's going straight for the Hurricane, no baits here, and the opponent does let it go. And the opponent is also building up a massive amount of energy, so this could be a Blizzard or a Sludge Wave, and it's actually a Sludge Wave. And now he's going to pivot out into the Palmot here, and the opponent brings in a Scrafty, and he's massively overfarming. I like this play quite a bit, making sure to overfarm before he throws the close combats, and he is now the back-to-back close combats, and this will definitely be one-shotting the Scrafty. They're probably not going to be shielding it, and they don't shield. And what are they going to come in with now? They still have 2 shields. We've already seen the Tentacruel, and they come back in with the Tentacruel. He overfarms massively and throws at the last second, just to make sure, yeah, if they let it go, now the opponent is not going to get as much farm on their final Pokemon. And their final Pokemon is Obstagoon. And Obstagoon definitely does not want to see a XL Hisuian Sneasler by any means. I guess this is actually a lot better than if it was a Sneasel, or no, a Sneasler, excuse me, because this thing actually has Poison Jab as the fast move and makes the catch onto the Pelipper. Honestly, I don't even think that catch was necessary. I think he had this game in the bag anyway. The opponent correctly undercharges it all the way, gets an extra counter, but now all Sneasel has to do here is land 1 X Scissor, and the opponent is now out of shields. He still has 2 shields. Could even no shield this and 2 shield flex on the opponent. I think he would have lived that. Would he have survived the counters? I'm not 100% sure, but they make another move anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But now could probably even go for the close combat BM if he wants to, and that is exactly what he's going to do. This would easily one-shot from full health, and the XL team takes the win in the first battle. Very nicely done by One Jedi Music. And getting into the next battle here, we have Naruto and a bunch of letters, or a bunch of numbers after the trainer name, excuse me. And he is running a very, very cool triple ghost theme team featuring the Shadow Gengar in the Ultra League. And let's get right into it and see what he can do with the team here, as he picks up an Electivire lead here in the first battle. Gets a bit of lag as well. Not sure if he got behind on energy there, but it looked like he might have. And actually calls that they're not going to full send the Wild Charge there, just the Ice Punch. And I believe this was only 4, so this can only be an Ice Punch, and he recognizes that, and he is going to let that go and go straight for the Shadow Ball. This probably one-shots, I imagine. Electivire is very, very glassy, and the opponent actually maybe, did they overfarm? No, I think they were just getting to their Ice Punch now, so they have the energy now, and they go straight for it, and they double shield Shadow Balls now, and the opponent is now out of shields, and Gengar with 2-0 shield advantage can probably one-shot just about everything in this meta, considering he has Shadow Ball and Focus Blast. He gets the entire farm down of the Electivire. The opponent has a Swampert in the back, and this was actually only 4, so this can only be a Muddy Water. It actually is a Muddy Water, oh my gosh. But now Gengar nearly has 100 energy. Shadow Ball's easily going to be one-shotting the Swampert, and what is going to be in the back? It's actually a Sceptile, and this thing is at nearly full health. Is this Shadow Ball going to one-shot? And it absolutely one-shots from nearly full health. And Shadow Gengar takes the 1v3. You love to see it. Shadow Gengar is probably the ultimate glass cannon. Very well done by Naruto there. And in the next battle here, we have AKchillyWilly running a very, very cool Ultra League team featuring Shadow Snorlax, XL Kecleon, and XL Shadow Golbat. And I believe the Kecleon is level 50, and the Shadow Golbat is level 51. So very, very cool spice here as we pick up the Snorlax Mirror, actually. A very awkward matchup, very bait dependent, and the opponent is going straight for a move. This could be a superpower, and it actually is the superpower. He goes for the Body Slam, recognizing they are now debuffed, and the opponent reads him like a book, and they catch onto a Cobalion. And this is very, very rough, but makes a very nice catch of his own and catches the double resistant Sacred Sword onto the Shadow Golbat. And he will get to the Shadow Ball here just before they make a potential Stone Edge. And does the opponent respect this with a shield? And they do respect it with a shield. And now, do you call a bait here, or do you respect the Stone Edge? He calls the bait, and it's another Sacred Sword. Very nice bait call there. And at this point, the opponent's probably not going to bait again. Probably would throw up a shield. And they actually do bait again, excuse me. And he does shield that bait. So very unfortunate. They're now going to take advantage of the misaligned switch clocks and bring in their Giratina. But he has the perfect response in the XL Kecleon running Lick and Foul Play. And this Giratina is not going to have a fun time against this normal type. Now, this CP doesn't even make it 2,500, I don't believe. Yeah, he's only at 2,302 there on the CP. But this is still a very, very nice matchup for the Kecleon here. Not quite sure if Foul Play will KO. No, it doesn't even come close to KOing, actually. So going to have to throw another move. And I believe the switch clocks are misaligned again. And the opponent again takes advantage of that. And they bring back in their Cobalion to farm down. And it really is not enough there. And the opponent does again have the energy for a Stone Edge. And this time he does correctly shield it. And now should be able to get the farm down. They are going to make another Sacred Sword here, but they're not going to make another Shadow Ball. I don't quite believe. And they don't. Excuse me, guys. And now they come back in with a Shadow Snorlax here. Or the regular Snorlax, excuse me. But this game is far from over because this Snorlax is still very, very healthy. He does make 2 Poison Fangs, but this Snorlax has a lot of energy and he has no shield, so he's going to have to try to make a catch to win this game. Going to bring in the Snorlax, does a couple licks, and then catches the move perfectly, and it is the superpower. And now he has to watch for a catch of his own. The opponent does try to catch, but he perfectly holds on to his energy there. And now can he live this move and farm down? And he barely makes the farm down as the timer's coming up. Leaves with the superpower and is going to superpower the Snorlax. And that is going to be a GG as the timer hits 0. Perfectly played game there by AKchillyWilly. Very, very, very high level play with a ton of crazy catches on both ends. So you love to see it. Very well done by him. Sorry, guys. I am struggling here. The dry Ohio weather is just destroying me right now. I'm not going to complain about it too much, but yeah, it's going to be a rough video, I can tell already. I've already wanted to sneeze like 5 times into my camera, but I am withholding it as we pick up the King of Prussia 420 team here. Shadow Zapdos, Tapu Fini, Shiny Tapu Fini as well, and a XL level 50 Gumshoes. Now, in the lead here, we had a Swampert, and he did try to catch the Hydro Cannon there onto his Shiny Tapu Fini, but the opponent did hold on to their energy, and they bring in a Giratina Altered. And this is not a good matchup for Fini down this much health, because as you're going to see here, if the opponent wants to, they can actually no-shield this Moonblast and still get the farm down, and that's exactly what they do. But unfortunately for them, he has a level 50 Gumshoes that is going to come in and just completely destroy this Giratina, bite all the way down. And what is the opponent going to bring in here? Are they going to come back with a Swampert, or are they going to bring in their third Pokemon? And it's actually a Charizard in the back. And it looks like Zapdos here has a lot of work to do because Gumshoes is so slow with that bite. Fast move pressure, it just charges energy so slow. And it is not going to have a fun time trying to get to moves against that Charizard. So at this point, I'm thinking that Zapdos is going to be the win con here, and he recognizes that as well, and he is shielding up his Zapdos. Probably going to double shield it as well, and I believe he should just about outpace the Swampert, but the issue is going to be that Zard has energy, and I believe the Zard will outpace the Zapdos to a Blast Burn here. Throws on CMP, very nicely done, and makes the Drill Peck, but sacks the Gumshoes on the CMP die there. Completely sacrifices the Gumshoes, and that allows him to make the move against the Charizard, and Thunderbolt will easily be one-shotting the Charizard. Very nice catch. Very cool to see the level 50 Hundo Gumshoes, but unfortunately, it basically just gets sacrificed to the Pokegods there as a third shield. You love to see it. As we move into the next battle here with KitKatDeluxe. Nope, I'm not going to sneeze. I thought I was going to sneeze, but I'm not going to sneeze. And I believe we're now getting into the Great League battles here, as KitKat is running Umbreon, Cresselia, and Serperior, and we'll have to see what she can do with the team here. And the opponent, I believe, had a Sableye lead there, but they safe switch into an Alolan Sandslash, a Powder Snow Alolan Sandslash as well, and unfortunately doesn't have a very good answer to this, so it's going to have to just stay in here. And this is going to be a little bit tricky because the Umbreon here will probably be very low after this matchup concludes. And we're still going to need that Umbreon to take care of the Sableye. So we'll have to see how she plays this out here. We'll win this matchup fairly comfortably, but unfortunately, the fact that it's a Powder Snow A/, gosh, makes it a lot worse from the Umbreon than if it was on Shadow Claw. And what are they going to bring back in? They actually bring in a Venusaur here, and now I think you have to probably pivot out of here and save the Umbreon for later, and that's exactly what she's going to do. She's going to bring back in the Cresselia, draw back out that Sableye, and now Sableye is going to have to deal with this Cresselia with energy. And Moonblast would do a lot of damage to Sableye, and they're farming up massively here, and a Foul Play shouldn't quite KO, so doesn't have to shield this if she doesn't want to, and she is going to no-shield that and get both of these Moonblasts off, and the opponent actually double shields their Sableye, and now with a 2-0 shield advantage, Serperior should be able to close out this game, but we'll have to see because that Venusaur still has some energy, and so does the Sableye here. Gonna call it's not a return here, just a Foul Play, very nicely done. And the Frenzy shouldn't quite KO from here, but after a couple more Vine Whips, the Sableye should be in Frenzy Plant range, and over farms by too much, and the opponent wins CMP with the Sableye, and now this game just got very, very interesting, because the Venusaur does have a move loaded, I believe, and waits one turn, recognizing that the opponent had a move. The opponent tries to hesitate, hold on to their energy, they wait a turn, but she also waits a turn, still catches the move onto the very low health Umbreon, and makes the aerial ace against the Venusaur. Takes the win nonetheless. Very, very well done there. Very high level play there, whereas if she just would have caught instantly, the opponent would have held on to their energy, but the one turn wait there coming in clutch. Very nicely done there by KitKatDeluxe. As we pick up a very, very cool Great League pick here in the next battle of Bellibolt. And thank you to Zyrobite for sending in this one. As he picks up a very, very bad lead here, Pelipper into Charjabug, shiny Charjabug as well, and now going to switch into the Bellibolt here. And Bellibolt doesn't have the greatest matchup here either, but the opponent brings in a Dugong, and oh my gosh, do they know? They don't know about the Zap Cannon. It one-shots from literally full health, and they bring back in the Charjabug, and now we have flip switch advantage, and we can put the Medicham onto this Bellibolt, and Bellibolt lives that move on 1 HP as well, and going to get some chip damage off, and that is going to be very, very important, because this might just about put this thing into Psychic range here after a couple more counters, and we'll have to see how this plays out. What are they going to have in the back? Hopefully something weak to the Pelipper in the back, and does make the Psychic just before the X-Scissor. And is this going to be enough to KO? No, the opponent actually shields, and they have a Water Gun Quagsire in the back. Oh my gosh, the opponent running a very interesting team here, and I believe this was just... yeah, just an Acid Spray. I don't think that was quite enough for a Stone Edge there, but does want to maintain some health on his Pelipper here, and is going to take out the Quag here now, and the opponent is going to get the farm down, and this is going to be very close. Has to get this shield here, and has to hope that Medi can make this Ice Punch before 2 X-Scissors, but I think 2 X-Scissors are going to land before he makes it to the Ice Punch, and yes, can Medicham survive this move and still make the Ice Punch, and it lives on literally 1 HP again, and just barely makes the Ice Punch, and that is going to be a GG. So 2 1 HP clutch survives there. A crazy one-shot on the Dugong there from Bellibolt, and that is a GG. Very well done there by Zyrobite. As we pick up the next battle here, FernandoLovebox. And by the way, guys, this team was so spicy, I literally didn't even have the Pokemon to make the graphic. So this is actually a triple shiny Shadow team with shiny Shadow Pinsir, shiny Shadow Kanto Weezing, and shiny Shadow Arbok. Very, very cool team by the opponent. I had to steal some images online from there, so I literally don't even own these Pokemon to take an AR pick of. So we pick up a terrible lead here in this battle. Shadow Pinsir into Cofagrigus, and he is going to safe switch into the shiny Kanto Weezing. A very, very cool shiny. That thing just looks so, so cool. And he massively overfarms, and now going to go straight for the Shadow Ball. No baiting, and the opponent tries to call the bait. They get one-shotted, and now they bring in a Dugong. And at this point, you can just go straight for Sludge Bombs here, and these are going to chunk away at this Dugong here. They do commit the shield, and they are going to go for the Icy Wind. This should be KOing here, but he can then realign the Pinsir to it, and the opponent undercharges it as well to try to get some extra energy, and that ends up costing them because they actually end up taking a move. And now this thing is just about an X-Scissor range, I would say. So you can just bring in the Pinsir here, and what are they going to have in the back here? They are staying in, they are going to throw the move, but Pinsir can live an Icy Wind here, not comfortably. This thing is super glassy, and now he's going to bring in the Arbok and get the farm down here. What is that final Pokemon? And it is a Chestnut, and this is just going to be game over. Now, even though Arbok resists all these moves from the Chestnut, any move will probably just about KO, but honestly, now that you got the shield, you can just let your Arbok go down, while Frenzy Plant still KOs from over half health, and now the X-Scissor will definitely be overkill here, especially since they're debuffed by the Acid Spray, and that is a good game. Very, very cool team there by FernandoLovebox. You love to see the shiny Shadow Spice. And into the next battle here, we have T-Chaser 325, and he is running an XL level 50 Pikachu. Not a Pikachu Libre, just a regular costumed Pikachu in the Great League with Froslass and Quagsire in the back. And let's see how he plays it. We have the Pikachu into the Shadow Lil Sandslash, and look at the CP on this thing. It's only 1060 CP as he goes straight for the Wild Charge against the A-Slash, and that still does massive damage, even though there's like a 500 CP difference between the two Pokemon. And the opponent actually brings in a Lantern here to meet this Quagsire, and this is definitely not a response to a Shadow Quagsire here. It's actually a Shadow Quag. I didn't realize that before. I have the wrong graphic up there, but that is okay, as the Lantern will be able to throw a Surf here, but this is not going to KO. And I believe they will make a second just before he makes another Mud Bomb, and he is going to respect it here, and probably can just go for Aqua Tails now. Quagsire actually does know Aqua Tail now and builds up to the back-to-back, so that way if they shield it up, he can just throw the second one straight away here, and they do let that go. And they're not going to be bringing back in that A-Slash probably, so what is their final Pokemon going to be here? And it's a Charizard, and this poor Charizard is about to get swept by this Quagsire. Aqua Tail probably KOs from full health here, just maybe not quite, since Aqua Tail is not the most powerful move ever, but yeah, just barely doesn't. And now you can just bring back in the Pikachu here. I believe the Sandslash does have energy here, so maybe we'll try to make a catch here. It does make the catch. Definitely wasn't necessary, but makes the catch anyway. It's an Ice Punch as well, and now they're going to be forced to throw a Drill Run, and Pikachu can just make the move and then farm down to Charizard here. And that is going to be a GG. So that Sandslash actually did have quite a bit of energy, so maybe that catch actually was necessary there, but very nicely done either way to recognize that the opponent had the move banked and plays that to perfection, and the XL Pikachu with his shirt gets the win there. Sorry, folks. I believe we're into the last two battles here. Very cool battle so far. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Make sure you smash the like button. I know I've said this before, but make sure you smash the like button if you guys enjoy this kind of content. These videos do take quite a while to make, and to be honest, they don't always get that many views, just because people typically would like to see just like one team featured. But if you enjoy this kind of video, make sure you leave a comment letting me know, and make sure you leave a like. It really does help me out. As we pick up a very cool team, Purugly, Gengar, and Zoroark by DarcysLoaf here in the Great League, and we pick up a Quagsire lead, and probably a negative lead I'm imagining, just because Purugly is very, very glassy, and it doesn't look like another Aqua Tail will KO here, so maybe you can make this a pretty close loss if you're the Purugly, because I don't quite think that two Aerial Aces are going to KO either, but we'll have to see how this plays out. And yeah, two Aerial Aces are not going to KO, so safe switches into the Zoroark, and going to tank an Aqua Tail here, or a Mud Bomb. This is going to do a lot of damage. Zoroark is very, very glassy, and is going to throw the foul play here on the CMP tie. Very nice counting there by Darcy. And what is the opponent going to meet the Zoroark with? And they have a Skarmory. Oh my gosh, do they know about the Flamethrower? This would do massive damage, and it nearly one-shots from full health. Oh my gosh, this just hits so incredibly hard. That was a non-stab Flamethrower as well, and now comes in with the Gengar and farms down, and is actually running double nuke as well, and there's a Gligar in the back, and makes the catch, but actually probably needs to shield this. Does actually need to get this energy off to make sure that he can get a shield here, because if he can get this shield, he should be able to double Shadow Ball this Gligar. They do get a farm down here, but Gengar does have quite a bit of energy, and I believe he should just barely outpace here. It's going to be very close. They actually go for the dig, and that might have been a lose con for the opponent, because Aerial Ace would definitely be KOing the Gengar, but he should just barely outpace now, and he does just about outpace and makes a Shadow Ball, and that is going to be a good game. Very spicy team by DarcysLoaf. Very well played battle. As we lead into the final battle here, and this is a battle, guys, that I actually did earlier in the season on my alt account, and it was just so good that I had to show you guys for our final battle of the top wins of the month, as we have Zapdos, Machamp, and Toxicroak in the Great League, excuse me, as we pick up a Politoed lead. Now, this is pretty neutral. Zapdos can live one move, but if they have Ice Beam, it can get a little rough, but the opponent here is just going straight for a Weather Ball, and Zapdos can tank one. Now, I thought maybe they were going to be weak to this in the back, and maybe they were just stacking the Politoed, so I full send a move. Actually, I do go for a Drill Peck bait as well on the CMP tie, and I go for CMP there just in case they decide to no-shield it. In that way, they're not able to overfarm, and they actually do shield up, and since they shield up there, I'm going to bait a second time here, and I get their final shield already, and now I'm going to commit my shield here, and shields are now all down, so I'm once again going to throw on the CMP tie here take out their Politoed, and they must be very, very weak in the back if they're staying in. It's a Shadow Victory Bell in the back. We have so much energy. We're going to one-shot the Shadow Vic with the Drill Peck, and they have a Skarmory in the back. And folks, you are about to see Zapdos 1v3 an entire team in the Great League, and we missed one bubble. And because we missed one bubble, as you're going to see, this Thunderbolt just barely doesn't KO. But the opponent has already closed their app. And now Toxicroak is actually going to come in and Poison Jab down the Steel type for the win. And that is going to be all she wrote, folks. Hope you enjoyed that last one. You know, when you see something like a Zapdos 1v3 a team, you just kind of have to share it. But thank you guys for watching. That was the last battle. Make sure that you guys paid attention and make sure that you know which one is your favorite, because we will be voting here in the next 24 hours or so on the best win of November. There will actually be 2 polls. Since there's 10 battles, there'll be 2 polls of 5. So we'll do those 2 polls, and then we'll do a final poll probably in like 48 hours or so. But that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed this type of content, make sure you leave a like and a comment letting me know. And that being said, if you are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, because as the... I actually totally forgot, guys. As I'm getting to my outro here, I totally forgot we haven't even gone through the honorable mentions yet, or the previous winners. There's our previous winners of the competition. Jamie Finn has won twice, Jedi Music has won, and also Meloette just won the last one. And there's our honorable mentions as well. But anyway, as I was about to say, the more subscribers we can get, the more Pokemon my wife will let me play.